I'm Holly Kovo from Fitting Fitness In. I'm a personal trainer and nutrition specialist, and welcome to Get Healthy with Holly. It's Alzheimer's Awareness Month, so we're going to talk about how you can keep your brain healthy by different activities and different foods that you can eat. So let's start with the activities, and I have a few slides that you can see. Let's start with puzzles, like jigsaw puzzles. I love to do jigsaw puzzles. And you can do different types of jigsaw puzzles. This is a nice 500-piece puzzle. You have a little picture to look at. But I've done even more challenging puzzles. I like to do puzzles that don't have pictures. I like to do puzzles that are surrounded with a mystery story. You can buy these puzzles. They have a story of like a murder mystery, and then you do the puzzle, and that solves the mystery. By looking at the puzzle, you can figure out the end of the mystery. But there's no picture for that puzzle. The other thing is, I've done puzzles that you have two puzzles in one box, and again with a murder mystery, and maybe the first puzzle is a picture of the scene before the murder, and then the second puzzle is a picture of the scene after the murder. And this was the most challenging puzzle I've ever done, and we did it out in Wisconsin at my brother's house one Christmas week. And I had a lot of people helping me. What I discovered was that the before picture was in landscape view or layout, and the after picture was in portrait layout. And all the pieces were in the same puzzle. So boy, that was challenging. So the more challenging, the better. There's also three-dimensional puzzles. I've put together a globe puzzle, so the pieces have to fit together, and it became the globe sphere. So you can do as challenging as you want with those puzzles, or you can make it a little simpler. But you want to try not just puzzles, you want to do word searches or crossword puzzles or riddles, different things to keep your brain engaged, and engaged in a different way than you're normally doing. So we have a few more slides. Let's take it to this next slide. And I want to show you some stuff that we do in our Brains in Balance class. One of the things that you can do at home is count your money. I mean, everything is done electronically now, or you wait till the cashier tells you to change, but just throw out all the money on your table and just count it. Or the next slide will show us that you can make it a little more challenging by taking what you have on your counter or your table and throw in some multiplication. And don't pull out that calculator. Use your brain to do that multiplication. On this next slide, we can talk about different things that belong together and what's different about them. So you have these 4 different types of flowers. Well, what's different? If we go to the next slide, we can see that the daisies are different. Let's go to the next slide. The daisies are different because the daisies come from seeds and the other flowers all come from bulbs. All right, let's keep moving it along. And let's go to the next slide. So in this next slide, we have something kind of like Boggle, where you have a whole bunch of letters that are circled, and in 60 seconds, you want to try to make as many words as you can using those letters, and you can use those letters more than once. This is kind of like the game Boggle, so you can do that at home as well. And if we move on to the next slide, there are activities that you can do online. There's several different web pages that you can use. This one is Brain HQ. This is the one that Tom Brady uses and promotes. And so you can log in free, or you can pay for a subscription and get more challenging games, but they call them games. And really what they're drills to help you improve your cognitive ability, your memory, and your reaction time. So reaction time, the shorter your reaction time, which means the better your reaction time, the better cognitive abilities you have. So in this one that's on the screen, there's butterflies, and what happens once you click that start, they all disappear, and then a butterfly will show on the screen, and you have to click where it was. It'll show and then disappear, and then it will show somewhere else and disappear. So you have to keep clicking where it appears. And you actually do get better. As the game goes on, it gets faster, but you get better as well. Then on the next slide, it shows you games that you could do on your phone. This one is Words with Friends. So basically, it's Scrabble with friends, and you can do it with people that you know, or you can do it with other people that are out there that you don't know that are on with friends, Words with Friends. And Scrabble, I mean, just do an old-fashioned game Scrabble with your partner or with your spouse or with your kids. That's another way to keep your brain active. So those are activities that you can do. Now I want to show you, there's some exercises that you can do that will help increase your brain activity and keep your brain healthy. Mostly activities or exercises that go across your body. So let's take the wood chop, for instance. If you had a weight, you'd be bringing that weight up, bringing it down into a squat, and then back up. So this goes across the body. That helps those synapses firing in the brain. Of course, you want to do it on the other side as well, so that you work yourself evenly. So that's the wood chop. So the same idea, you can do what we call the lawnmower or snowblower, but now it's spring, so we're going to call it the lawnmower. With your weight, bring it down, pull it up, and twist so that you're going across your body and you're twisting. So this gets your legs, your back, and your abs and your external oblique. So on the same on the other side, pulling it up and back. This is called the lawnmower. Okay? Other things that can help you are dancing. Dance is really great for the brain because it engages it. You have to remember steps. You have to move fast so your reaction time is there. So in my senior fitness classes, we do 20 minutes of cardio, and I pretty much choreograph some aerobic routines. And the more challenging they are, the more it gets your brain going. So I threw a few really challenging ones in the last time. And you know, there were some moans and groans, but after we got it, they were feeling a great sense of accomplishment. So let me just show you some of these moves, and you can try them at home. We're not going to use any music, but when I do these moves with my seniors, we do 128 beats per minute. If I take it up to one of my other classes, like my fusion fitness class, we'll use 140 beats per minute. So just think of these moves and how fast that they would be. So we're going to start with an 8-count grapevine phase, going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, kick. Kick, we call these flyaways. Flyaways, 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 then step touch. 2, 3, 4 to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, kick, kick, flyaway, 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 step touch, step touch, step touch, step touch. So those are simple moves that I just put together, but because I put them together, you have to remember the sequence. You're not going to just stop and march in place in between. Okay, in this next grapevine phrase, it's a little more challenging, and we're going to take a grapevine into hamstring curls and do a V-step and a whole bunch of different things, so try to follow along at home, and then you can practice this. All right? Step behind, step double hamstring, singles, step touch, step touch, step touch, V-step, step repeater, repeat and forward, 2, 3, heel and back, 2, 3, heel and forward, 2, 3, heel and back, 2, 3, heel once more, and come back here and march it out. Now we're going to take it to the other side. It's always important to do both sides. You usually go better on one side than the other, depending on whether you're left-handed or right-handed. Take it left, step behind, step double hams, singles, step touch, step touch, step touch, V-step, step repeater, repeat and forward, 2, 3, heel and back, 2, 3, heel and forward, 2, 3, heel and back, 2, 3, heel once more, and back. All right, so that gets your body going in different directions. It adds simple exercises, but it puts them in a pattern. The key thing that really changed from the 8-count grapevine to this one is that we only did we did step touch 3 times as opposed to 4. And that changing it kind of gives it a syncopated step, which is much more challenging. So these are things that you could try at home and just to get you going. Or you can get a video online, or there's exercise on TV now. So just try some of those different things. Now that we've learned some activities that we can do at home to make our brain healthy, let's take it over to the kitchen and learn some foods that we can cook and eat to keep our brain healthy as well. Now let's talk about some foods that are good for your brain health. And I have 10 different foods here that are really good for brain health. And let's start with whole grains. This bread is 12-grain bread. Your brain requires energy to function optimally. And so when you consume whole grains, it has a really low glycemic index, which means that it's going to release glucose slowly, gradually into the bloodstream throughout the day. So that keeps you more mentally alert and sharp for the whole day. So you want to choose whole grains. You want to choose like whole grain breads, whole grain cereals. You want to choose brown rice. You want to choose brown pasta instead of white rice or white pasta because they have a higher glycemic index. Then blueberries. Oh, blueberries are so good for you. They help protect the brain against oxidative stress, and it helps reduce that negative effect of conditions like dementia or Alzheimer's. Blueberries are great, also good for your eyes. Studies indicate that they've also improved motor skill and your learning capacity. So it's really great to have blueberries. So you want to have at least a cup of blueberries a day. Now, they can be fresh blueberries, they could be frozen blueberries, they could be freeze-dried. Just eat some blueberries. Then spinach. Oh, I love spinach. Studies show that spinach helps prevent or delay the onset of dementia and Alzheimer's. So it contains nutrients that protect the DNA from damage while it's preventing tumor and cancer cell growth. So when you're going through chemo treatments, spinach is really great food to eat. It also helps slow down the effects of aging on the brain. And it's a great source of vitamin E and folate. So it has other health benefits as well. That's also good for your skin health, but it's also good to improve brain function. So that's just those first three. Then we have avocados. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats. Those are like omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Those are the healthy fats. And that help increase your increase your blood flow, especially to the brain. So it also assists in the absorption of antioxidants. And antioxidants like vitamin E that help protect your cells and the body in the brain from free radical damage. So avocados are really great. They also have vitamin K and potassium, which helps protect the brain from stroke. And they taste yummy. And on a previous show, I made that chocolate avocado mousse. You couldn't even tell it was avocado in there. And then we have salmon. And we're going to do a salmon recipe this afternoon. So salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and they're essential for optimal brain function. Wild salmon is recommended because it's cleaner. It doesn't have any of the contain any potentially harmful chemicals that you get on farm raised. Any other oily fish will also be good, like herring and sardines, although sardines are a little salty for me. Then you have nuts and seeds. Those are also very good for your brain health. They're a good source of vitamin E. It helps prevent cognitive decline as people get older. Also, you want about an ounce of either almonds, peanuts, sesame seeds, flax seeds, hazelnuts or walnuts every day. Try to go for the unsalted kinds, and then you can reduce your sodium intake. And then chocolate, specifically dark chocolate. Chocolate contains flavonoids that help improve blood vessel function. It improves cognitive function and memory, improves your mood, helps reduce pain by reducing inflammation. It's rich in antioxidants, and it protects the brain from free radical damage. So I like Dove chocolates. It's a nice little square. I can have one square a day. So you want to pick a really good chocolate if you're going to do one chocolate a day. Tea. So this is Pickwick tea. It's an English tea, although I started drinking it when I lived in Holland as an exchange student. So tea is good whether it's hot or cold, but brewed tea, not the kind that is powdered or in a bottle tea. You want to make sure that it's brewed. And you can have 2 or 3 cups a day. The fresh brewed tea provides enough caffeine to help boost your brain power, whether that's morning, noon, or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It improves your focus, your memory. also the mood of a person. So tea also contains some potent antioxidants that helps promote healthy blood flow throughout the body, including the brain. So tea is a good one. Pomegranate juice or pomegranate seeds. So sometimes it's easier to get the juice because if pomegranate's not in season, it's hard to find pomegranate. Sometimes you can get it already, the seeds pulled out. Unfortunately, that was not the case for me, so I was there last night digging the seeds out, and boy, it splatters everywhere. So be careful. But pomegranate is really great. It's rich in antioxidants. It helps protect the brain from free radical damage and the effects of aging. So be careful, though, if you buy the pomegranate juice that you're not getting something that has a lot of sugar in it, because that will reduce its effect or reduce its health benefits. And 2 ounces a day of the juice is good to benefit your brain. And the last one here is curry, although in this case I have turmeric. So turmeric is the spice in curry that gives it its yellow color. And turmeric contains curcumin, which is a chemical that has been shown to help boost memory, stimulate neurogenesis, which is creating new brain cells, and slows down the development of Alzheimer's. It helps clear the amyloid plaques that develop in the brain from Alzheimer's, and it's believed to be one of the causes of Alzheimer's, and it helps reduce inflammation of brain cells. So turmeric, you can cook with it. I also take capsules of turmeric every day, which is a great way to reduce inflammation. We're going to do a baked salmon today, and we're going to use a sauce that one of my clients in my Brains and Balance class, Dave Ellis, gave me. Dave was an avid fisherman, and twice a year he goes to Alaska and he goes fishing, and he brings back salmon and haddock. And so I was very fortunate that during the time of the session of our Brains and Balance, he did a trip to Alaska, and he brought back salmon and haddock and gave it to everybody. And he also gave us this recipe that for a sauce, kind of like a marinade sauce that you put on top of it, which is awesome. So we're going to do that recipe today. So we start out with 1 pound of salmon, and preferably you want the wild salmon as opposed to the farm-raised salmon. And then we have 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 tablespoon of yellow mustard, 1 tablespoon of, well, it calls for margarine, but I use butter because I don't like to use margarine. A tablespoon of granulated garlic. We're going to use a tablespoon of soy sauce, and I like to use the low salt soy sauce, and a tablespoon of vegetable oil as well. And we're going to use some breadcrumbs, seasoned breadcrumbs, to put on top. So let's start with, we're going to start with the butter. So I melted this butter in the microwave. So we're going to make the sauce, and then we're going to put it on top. We have the salmon in a nice piece of aluminum foil because we're going to fold it and put it in the oven. But if you make this on the grill, you don't have to use the aluminum foil. You just want to make sure that you put it on the grill with the skin down. And when you put it on the aluminum foil, you do the same. Put it with the skin down. Okay. Some yellow mustard. I know, it looks interesting, doesn't it? It tastes so good. Even my kids love this. And I'm not a big soy sauce person because it usually is so salty, but when you get the low salt, it's not bad. And we'll throw in the garlic. Ooh, that's kind of stuck to the bottom. Again, this handy dandy little miniature spatula, I love it. Okay, and so now we're going to do our tablespoon of oil. This is a tablespoon. Put that in there. And a tablespoon of the soy sauce. Actually, the garlic was a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. Get it all nice and mixed together. There we go. And then what we do is we just add enough breadcrumbs to absorb it so that it doesn't run off the fish when we put it on top of the fish. So we'll put some in there now and just mix it in there. You don't want it too dry, but you don't want it runny either. So I'm gonna just put a little bit more in there. Don't need as much as I had in the bowl. So this is really awesome. And we usually make it on the grill, but today we're gonna make it in the oven here in the studio. All right, good. And then we take this mixture and you put it on the salmon. And you spread it all the way around on this side of the salmon. Try to get as much as possible everywhere. This is a nice slice of salmon. So you want to kind of get it everywhere so every part of it is covered. And that's a good mixture because it's not draining, not runny, but there's still a good amount on there. All right, so now that we have that, now what we're going to do is we're going to make it into a little boat here and cover it up and over. Look at that, all nice and pretty. So we're going to put this in the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes. Let's put this in there. Now we're going to add some spinach. We've got the salmon in the oven and we're going to make a nice complete meal. We're going to saute some spinach with a little olive oil and salt and pepper. So I'm only going to do half of a pound of spinach. So the recipe usually calls for a whole pound, but I don't need a whole pound today. So I'm only going to do 1 tablespoon of olive oil instead of the 2. And put this spinach in there. Now, for any of you who have sauteed spinach before, it looks like an awful lot, but the thing is, it's going to cook right down to nothing, almost nothing. So we're going to get that going. And while this is sauteing, because just as you would do in your kitchen, I'm going to work on the fruit salad. And I call it the brainy fruit salad because it's going to consist of mostly good things for your brain. Just want to quick mention my apron today. I just got back from 12 days vacation in Ireland. We did a nice tour, and this is my apron from there. There are so many sheep in Ireland, so I had to get a sheep apron for my show. Look at these popping out all over the place. All right, so they're going to cook. All right, and in the interim, let me put together this brainy salad. So we're using pomegranates, a cup of pomegranates, which I de-seeded last night. Although hopefully you can find them when they're in season. You can find them in the store already seeded. Blueberries, which are also great for the brain. And then I thought I'd add a little strawberries in there as well, and that has some fiber. So 1 cup of blueberries, 1 cup of strawberries, and 1 cup of pomegranate. And then mix it up. Boy, not only does this look delicious, but it's so very colorful, and it's really great for your brain. So let me just move this out of the way, and let's get back to our spinach. Mix that up. Once it really starts to cook down, it's very quick. And our salmon is almost ready. I love spinach. Anybody used to watch the cartoons with Popeye? He'd eat his spinach and then he'd give the old bicep when he went and saved olive oil. Ah, yes, that's showing my age all right. That's okay. Age is just a number. All right, see how this is cooking down? One big thing of spinach sautés down to hardly anything. You don't want to put too much oil in there because then it gets a little oily. It doesn't take much. Once this sautés down a little bit more, I'll add the salt and pepper, and you just add what you want, salt and pepper to taste. We don't want to overdo it. I I especially try to make sure that I do everything for brain health because my mom had Alzheimer's for a very long time before she died. And so genetically, I could be getting it. So I exercise, I eat right, try to do all those good things. I definitely eat the chocolate every day. So I like a Dove chocolate. It's a nice, good chocolate, and it's portion controlled in those little squares. You can't go wrong. All right, now we're at this point. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And I'm going to add some pepper, some salt, and saute it a little more. Get those flavors in there, cooked in. Look at that. There's hardly anything in there compared to what it was. But that's how it goes, and I don't mind having the stems in there. They're just as good. All right, and so that's the sauteed spinach. This is our brainy salad, and in a minute I'll put it all together on a plate for a nice dinner. Now I've just taken the salmon out of the oven. It looks perfect. I put a little cut in here just to make sure, and the nice thing is, look at it, it just slides right off of the skin. Take that out and put it on the plate, and it just slides right off of the skin very easily. And let's add our spinach, our nice sauteed spinach. Not only is this going to be yummy, but it's going to be colorful. Just a few more strawberries on there. And here we have it, a very brain healthy meal, healthy for your brain. We have our baked salmon with Dave Ellis's special sauce on there. We have some sauteed spinach, and we have our brainy salad. I want to thank you for watching today. I want to make sure that you take care of your brain by doing exercises, activities that will help keep your brain healthy, and eat healthy foods. So the recipes that I did today are going to be up on my website, fittingfitnessin.com, under the tab Get Healthy with Holly, and all the recipes are up there. So I'd like to thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Get Healthy with Holly.